Hello students, welcome to the next lecture on module 1. In this video, let us analyze the concept of radius of curvature of a curve. To begin with, let us first understand what is curvature. While traveling, most of you might have observed the safety signs indicating a sharp bend or a hairpin bend ahead, suggesting to slow down the speed of the vehicle, isn't it? And if I am not wrong, at the turning point, the road level is slightly raised in order to prevent the vehicle from skidding, which is rather called as banking of roads, right? So the difference in the amount of bending of a road or any curve at various points is called as curvature. Now let us analyze it graphically. Just consider a curve in an xy plane. In order to measure the curvature at any point, say suppose at the point P, just observe over here students, the extent of bending of a curve at the point P is comparatively less to that of the any point at the peak level, isn't it? Now to measure the curvature at the point P, we have to find a circle of a best fit passing through the point P, and this circle is called as an osculating circle. The radius of the osculating circle is called the radius of curvature, and the reciprocal of the radius of curvature is nothing but the curvature itself. So to find the curvature at the point P, it is enough to find the radius of curvature at the point P and then take the reciprocal of it. The center of this osculating circle is called a center of curvature, and the osculating circle itself is called the circle of curvature. This osculating circle has a very special property, that is, the curve and the osculating circle have the same first and the second order derivative at the point P. And larger the bending of the curve, smaller will be the osculating circle. That means, say suppose at this point, okay, since the extent of bending at this point is comparatively high, or I can say that the curvature is more at this point, this results in a smaller osculating circle, as a result a smaller radius of curvature. Okay, hope the points are clear to you. Radius of curvature and curvature are reciprocal to each other, and in order to find a curvature at a point, at any point of the curve, it is enough to find the radius of curvature and then just take the reciprocal of it. Now let us analyze mathematically. So mathematically I can express the curvature as k is equal to d psi by ds, where d psi is the angle between the corresponding tangents at the point P and Q, okay, and ds is the length of the element PQ. Then the radius of the curvature, as I already told you, the radius of curvature and curvature are inversely proportional. So the radius of curvature is given by the reciprocal of curvature, which is nothing but ds by d psi. So to evaluate the radius of curvature in the Cartesian form, we are going to use the formula rho is equal to 1 plus y1 square to the power 3 by 2 divided by y2, where your y1 and y2 are the corresponding first order and the second order derivative of y with respect to x. And the radius of curvature in polar form is given by rho is equal to r square plus r1 square to the power 3 by 2 divided by r square plus 2r1 square minus r into r2, where your r1 and r2 over here are the first order and the second order derivative of r with respect to theta. Just remember these formulas, students, the radius of curvature in Cartesian form and in the polar form, which we are going to use it in problems. Here is the first problem, that is to find the radius of curvature of xy cube is equal to a to the power 4 at the point a comma a. Just analyze the curve, students. Since the curve is in xy, okay, in terms of the variables x and y over here, so it's a Cartesian curve. So to find the radius of curvature in Cartesian form, the formula is rho is equal to 1 plus y1 square to the power 3 by 2 divided by y2. But since they are expecting you to find it at the point a comma a, so you have to find the radius of curvature at the point a comma a. That means you need to find the corresponding first order derivative and the second order derivative at the point a comma a. So just consider the curve. Let me just differentiate the curve since it is a product of two variables over here. So I am going to use the product rule. Derivative of first function, that means the differentiation of x, that is 1 into y cube plus x into differentiation of y cube. What is the derivative of y cube, students? It is 3y square into y1, right? Value of y1 over here is dy by dx. Okay. So what is y1 then? Y1 is nothing but minus y cube divided by 3xy square, which is nothing but minus y by 3x. Let me call it as equation 1. But we need to find y1 at the point a comma a, isn't it? So what is your x coordinate over here? X coordinate is a as well as the y coordinate is a. So substituting the value of x and y, so that the value of y1 at the point a comma a is minus 1 by 3. Now differentiating equation number 1 with respect to x, okay, I am just differentiating equation number 1 with respect to x. So I am going to use the quotient rule over here, keeping minus sign as it is, denominator into, what is your denominator? Denominator is 3x into differentiation of the numerator. What is the derivative of the numerator? It is y1, okay. Differentiation of y is nothing but y1 minus numerator into, that is y into differentiation of the denominator with respect to x, which is nothing but 3 divided by denominator square, that is nothing but 3x whole square. Okay. But we need to find the value of y2 at the point a comma a, isn't it? So substitute the value of x as a and y as a, and what is your y1 at a comma a, students? y1 at a comma a is minus 1 by 3. So substituting all these values, so that the value of y2 at the point a comma a is 4 by 9a. Okay. So we will see what happens to the radius of curvature now. Therefore, the radius of curvature at the point a comma a reduces to 5a into root 10 by 6. Okay. Therefore, I can say that the radius of curvature of the given curve is 5a root 10 by 6. That completes the first problem. Moving on to the second problem, that is to find the radius of curvature at the point 3a by 2 and 3a by 2 of the folium. Okay, this curve is called as an folium, that is x cube plus y cube is equal to 3axy. Just observe the curve, students. Again, the curve is in the Cartesian form, so we are going to use the formula of radius of curvature in Cartesian form, which is given by rho is equal to 1 plus y1 square to the power 3 by 2 divided by y2. But we need to find it at the point 3a by 2 and 3a by 2, right? So let us first find the differentiation of the given curve with respect to x, both the first order and the second order derivatives at the given point. Therefore, differentiating the given curve, x cube plus y cube is equal to 3axy with respect to x, the equation reduces to the form. What is the differentiation of x cube? It is 3x square plus differentiation of y cube with respect to x, that is nothing but 3y square into y1, which is equal to 3a into differentiation of xy. So x into differentiation of y with respect to x, that is y1, plus y into differentiation of x with respect to x, that is 1. Okay. Therefore, y1 reduces to the form y1 is equal to minus of x square minus ay divided by y square minus ax. Let me call it as equation number 1. So let me check what is y1 at the point 3a by 2 and 3a by 2. Just substitute the value of x and y as 3a by 2 over here and simplify it so that the value of y1 at the given point is minus 1. Now differentiating 1 again with respect to x by quotient rule. So keeping minus sign as it is and differentiating the equation. So denominator into differentiation of numerator. What is the derivative of x square? It is 2x minus a into differentiation of y, that is y1, minus numerator into derivative of the denominator. What is the differentiation of the denominator? Differentiation of y square is 2y y1 minus ax. Differentiation of ax is a, right? Divided by denominator square, which is nothing but y square minus ax whole square. Therefore, the value of y2 at the given point 3a by 2 and 3a by 2 is minus 32 by 3a. Just make a note of it, students. Just replace your x and y by the given point, that is 3a by 2 and 3a by 2, and replace your y1 by minus 1. Okay, and just simplify it so that you are going to get the value of y2 at the given point to be minus 32 by 3a. Therefore, the radius of curvature at the given point is equal to, just substitute the value of y1 and y2 over here so that it will be 3a by 8 root 2. Just make a note over here, students. Even though your y2 is negative over here, I have chosen the radius of curvature as positive itself. Always the radius of curvature should be chosen as positive. Okay. If you are getting the value negative, if the radius of curvature, that is rho, is negative, just take the modulus sign of that. Okay. So write the radius of curvature in positive value itself. Hence, the radius of curvature of the given curve, that is the folium, is 3a by 8 root 2. So that completes the problem. Next problem, students, that is to find the radius of curvature of y square is equal to a square into a minus x divided by x, at where the curve cuts the x-axis. Just make a note of it, students. Over here, they are expecting you to find the radius of curvature of a Cartesian curve again at the point where the curve cuts the x-axis. That means the point is not given to you explicitly over here. Okay, so you need to find the point using the hint that the curve cuts the x-axis. And on the x-axis, what will be your y coordinate, students? The value of the y is 0, right? So just substitute the value of y over here to be 0 so that the corresponding value of x will be equal to a. So over here, you people have to find the radius of curvature at the point a comma 0. Okay. So just rearranging the terms over here so that you are going to get the equation as xy square is equal to a cube minus a square x. Okay. Now differentiating the given curve with respect to x. so that the equation reduces to the form differentiation of x with respect to x, that is 1 into y square plus x into differentiation of y square. What is the derivative of y square? It is 2y y1, that is equal to a cube, it's a constant, so its derivative is 0, and the differentiation of minus a square x is minus a square. So just simplify it, so that we are going to get the value of y1 at the point a comma 0. So y1 reduces to the form minus a square minus y square divided by 2xy. But at the point a comma 0, what happens to your derivative over here? Substitute the value of a to be equal to x to be equal to a and the value of y to be equal to 0, so that your derivative tends to infinity, some number divided by 0, that is not defined, right? So over here the corresponding first order derivative at the given point is not defined. In that case, just reverse the differentiation. That means just change the independent variable over here. Instead of dy by dx, go for dx by dy. So if dy by dx is tending to infinity, then dx by dy will tend to 0. 0 is a well defined number, isn't it? Okay. So what happens? The dx by dy, which is equal to 2xy, just reversing it, okay. Just taking the reciprocal of dy by dx, which is equal to 2xy divided by minus a square minus y square. Just substitute the value of x to be equal to a and the value of y to be equal to 0, so that dx by dy will be equal to 0. From the previous slide, we have dx by dy is equal to minus of 2xy divided by a square plus y square. At the same time, the value of dx by dy, which is nothing but x1, at the point a comma 0 is 0. So let me differentiate the above expression with respect to y. Just make a note of it, students. I am differentiating it with respect to y, not with respect to x. Okay. So using the quotient rule, keeping minus sign as it is, denominator into differentiation of the numerator. Just differentiate the numerator over here, which is nothing but 2x into differentiation of y with respect to y, that is 1. So you have just 2x plus 2y into differentiation of x with respect to y, that is nothing but x1, okay, minus 2xy into differentiation of the denominator. What is the derivative of the denominator? Differentiation of a square, it's a constant, so its derivative is 0, and the differentiation of y square is 2y divided by denominator square, that is nothing but a square plus y square whole square. Therefore, the value of x2, now just we'll find the value of x2, which is nothing but the differentiation, double differentiation of x with respect to y is minus 2 by a. Substitute the value of x to be equal to a and the value of y to be equal to 0, and x1, replace your x1 by 0 and simplify it, so that you are going to get the value of x2 at the point a comma 0 to be minus 2 by a. Just make a note of it, students. Since the radius of curvature in the Cartesian form, the formula is given by rho is equal to 1 plus y square, y1 square to the power 3 by 2 divided by y2, isn't it? But over here, since your y1 at the given point, that is at the point a comma 0 is not defined, that's why we have taken the reciprocal of it and computed x1 and x2 at the given point, isn't it? So what you have to do over here is, if your y1 or the corresponding derivatives does not exist, in that case the radius of curvature, replace your y1 and y2 by the corresponding values of x1 and x2. Okay, so the radius of curvature is given by rho is equal to 1 plus x1 square to the power 3 by 2 divided by x2. But you need to find it at the point a comma 0. Okay, so what is your value of x1 at the point a comma 0? It is 0, and the value of x2 at the point a comma 0 is minus 2 by a. Just substitute it so that you are going to get the value of the radius of curvature at the point a comma 0 to be minus a by 2. Okay, but just make a note of it, students. Always you have to choose the radius of curvature to be positive, and hence just take the modular sign of this. Therefore, the radius of curvature of the given curve at which it cuts the x-axis, at the point where it cuts the x-axis, is a by 2. That completes the problem, and this problem is important. Okay. Next problem. For the cardioid r is equal to a into 1 plus cos theta, they are expecting you to prove that the square of radius of curvature, that is rho square, is proportional to the radius vector r. Okay. So let us draw the curve here. R is equal to a into 1 plus cos theta for the varying values of theta. For theta is equal to 0, what is the value of r, students? Cos 0 is 1, so that the value of r is 2a. And for theta is equal to pi by 2. Cos pi by 2 is 0. Therefore, the value of r is a. And for theta is equal to pi. Cos pi is minus 1. Therefore, the value of r is equal to 0. Okay, since the curve is symmetric about the initial line, theta is equal to 0 over here. Okay, just observe the curve, students, and since the curve is in terms of r and theta over here, so it's a polar curve, and the radius of curvature in the polar form is given by rho is equal to r square plus r1 square to the power 3 by 2 divided by r square plus 2r1 square minus r into r2, where your r1 and r2 are the differentiation of r with respect to theta, right? The first order and the second order derivatives of r with respect to theta. So just consider the given curve, that is r is equal to a into 1 plus cos theta. So differentiating the curve with respect to theta, we get r1 is equal to a into, what is the derivative of 1 plus cos theta? Differentiation of 1 plus cos theta is minus sin theta, isn't it? Now to get r2, just differentiate r1. What is the differentiation of r1? Differentiation of r1 is r2, that is equal to minus a into derivative of sin theta. Differentiation of sin theta is cos theta. Now just substitute it in the formula, r square plus r1 square to the power 3 by 2 divided by r square plus 2r1 square minus r2. So substituting, r is nothing but a into 1 plus cos theta. Therefore, r square is of the form a square into 1 plus cos theta whole square, r1 square, that is nothing but a square sin square theta to the power 3 by 2 divided by r square, that is a square into 1 plus cos theta whole square plus 2 into r1 square, that is a square sin square theta plus r into y plus over here, because your r2 is negative, isn't it? So you have minus sign from the formula and minus sign from r2. So minus into minus, it becomes plus. So plus r into, that is a into 1 plus cos theta into a cos theta. So you are going to get it as a square into 1 plus cos theta into cos theta. We'll just simplify this equation and prove that rho square is proportional to r. So moving on to the next slide. Just simplifying the equation, students, so that rho is equal to 8 into a into 2 times 1 plus cos theta to the power 3 by 2 divided by 3 into 1 plus cos theta. Squaring on both the sides, so that rho square is equal to 8a square by 9 into 1 plus cos theta whole cube divided by 1 plus cos theta squared. Just cancelling the terms, so that rho square reduces to the form 8a square into 1 plus cos theta divided by 9. But what is a into 1 plus cos theta? A into 1 plus cos theta is nothing but r, isn't it? So just substituting it, so that rho square will be equal to 8a by 9 into r. Just observe, students, rho square is of the form some constant into r. So I can say that rho square is proportional to r, isn't it? Since your rho square is equal to some constant into r, hence I can say that rho square is proportional to r. That completes the proof, right? Next problem, students, that is to find the radius of curvature of r to the power n is equal to a to the power n into sin n theta, and hence they are asked you to prove that rho is inversely proportional to r to the power n minus 1. Observe the curve, students. Since the curve is in terms of r and theta, so it's a polar curve. So we know that the radius of curvature in polar form is given by rho is equal to r square plus r1 square to the power 3 by 2 divided by r square plus 2r1 square minus r2. So just differentiating the given curve, that is r to the power n is equal to a to the power n into sin n theta with respect to theta, so that we get what is the differentiation of r to the power n with respect to theta, students? It is n into r to the power n minus 1 into r1. r1 is nothing but dr by d theta, right? That is equal to a to the power n, which is a constant, so keep it as it is. Differentiation of sin n theta. Derivative of sin n theta is cos n theta into n. So just cancelling n, okay, and observing that r to the power n minus 1, I can write it as r to the power n by r, okay. So I can rearrange the terms over here so as to obtain r1 as r into cot n theta. Just observe over here, I have taken r to the power n by r to the other side of the equation. So it becomes r by r to the power n. What is r to the power n? R to the power n is a to the power n sin n theta. So a power n cancels and cos by sin is nothing but cot. Okay, so that you are going to get r1 as r into cot n theta. That completes the first differentiation of r with respect to theta. Now again differentiating r1 to obtain r2. Okay, so r2 is equal to r into, what is the differentiation of cot n theta, students? Differentiation of cot n theta is minus cosecant square n theta into differentiation of n theta with respect to theta, that is n. Okay, plus keep cot n theta as it is and just do the differentiation of r with respect to theta, that is nothing but r1. But what do you know about r1? r1 is nothing but r cot n theta, right? So just substitute it. So you are going to get r2 to be equal to minus n into r cosecant square n theta plus replacing r1 by r into cot theta, so that the term reduces to the form r into cot square n theta. Okay. Now just substituting it in the given formula. What is that? The formula is rho is equal to r square plus r1 square to the power 3 by 2 divided by r square plus 2r1 square minus rr2. Okay, over here I am keeping r as it is and substituting r1 and r2 by r cot n theta and minus n r cosecant square n theta plus r into cot square n theta. So rho reduces to the form rho is equal to r square plus I am replacing r1 by r cot n theta, okay, whole to the power 2 to the power 3 by 2 divided by keeping r as it is, okay. So r square plus 2 into r1 is nothing but r cot n theta whole square minus r into r2. r2 is minus n into r cosecant square n theta plus r into cot square n theta. Let me simplify it and prove that the rho is inversely proportional to r to the power n minus 1. Just observe the terms over here, students. So from the numerator, let me take r square outside the bracket so that it is of the form r square to the power 3 by 2. That is nothing but r cube, isn't it? Square and 1 by 2 get cancelled so that it is of the form r to the power 3. So what is the term left out then? The left out term is 1 plus cot square n theta whole to the power 3 by 2. Okay, let me take r square common from the denominator as well, so that the terms inside the bracket is of the form 1 plus 2 into r square. I have taken it outside the bracket, so it is just 2 cot square n theta minus into minus it is plus n into cosecant square n theta, okay, minus into plus is minus into cot square n theta, okay. Now what is 1 plus cot square n theta, students? 1 plus cot square n theta is cosecant square n theta. Let me use it in the above expression. Okay, over here you have r cube into 1 plus cot square n theta. 1 plus cot square n theta is nothing but cosecant square n theta to the power 3 by 2 divided by r square into, just observe over here you have 2 cot square n theta minus cot square n theta, that is nothing but cot square n theta, right? So the term inside the bracket is of the form 1 plus cot square n theta plus n into cosecant square n theta. But what do you know about 1 plus cot square n theta? Cot square n theta, 1 plus cot square n theta is nothing but cosecant square n theta, okay. I am just replacing 1 plus cot square n theta in the denominator by cosecant square n theta, and just observe the numerator term over here. It is r cube by r square, that is nothing but r into cosecant square n theta to the power 3 by 2, that is nothing but cosecant cube n theta. Okay, let me just take cosecant square n theta common from the denominator and cancel it with the numerator, so that the equation reduces to the form r into cosecant n theta divided by n plus 1. And cosec n theta, can I write it as 1 by sin n theta? I can, isn't it? I am just replacing cosecant n theta over here as 1 by sin n theta. And from the given polar curve we have r to the power n is equal to a to the power n into sin n theta. So I can write sin n theta as r to the power n divided by a to the power n, okay. Now I am replacing sin n theta by r to the power n divided by a to the power n. Denominator's denominator will go to the numerator. So you have a to the power n in the numerator and r by r to the power n. R by r to the power n is nothing but r to the power n minus 1 into n plus 1. Got it? So you have the radius of curvature to be equal to a to the power n divided by n plus 1 into r to the power n minus 1, that is some constant multiplied with 1 by r to the power n minus 1. So that I can say that the radius of curvature of the given curve is inversely proportional to r to the power n minus 1. That completes the problem. Last problem, students. If rho 1 and rho 2 be the radii of curvature at the extremities of any chord of the cardioid, r is equal to a into 1 plus cos theta, which passes through the pole, then they have expected you to prove that rho 1 square plus rho 2 square is equal to 16a square by 9. Okay. What is the curve that is generated by the equation r is equal to a into 1 plus cos theta, students? It's a cardioid. Cardioid is an heart-shaped curve, symmetric with respect to the initial line, right? Okay, just consider any chord passing through the pole O. Okay, let rho 1 be the radius of curvature at the point P, thereby making an angle theta with respect to the initial line, and rho 2 be the radius of curvature at the point P dash, thereby making an angle pi plus theta with respect to the initial line. So let me just compute rho 1 first, okay, which makes an angle theta with respect to the initial line. So differentiating the given curve, what is the given curve over here? R is equal to a into 1 plus cos theta. So differentiating the given curve with respect to theta, so that R1 is of the form, what is R1? R1 is nothing but derivative of 1 plus cos theta. A, keeping A as it is, differentiation of 1 plus cos theta is minus sin theta, and R2 is differentiation of R1 over here, which is nothing but minus a into cos theta. Substituting it in the formula of radius of curvature, that is rho 1 is equal to r square plus r1 square to the power 3 by 2 divided by r square plus 2r1 square minus r2. Just substituting r, r1 and r2 in the above expression and reducing the equation, so that the equation reduces to the form. Just take a square common from the numerator over here, students, that is a square common from the brackets, so that it is of the form a square to the power 3 by 2, that is nothing but a cube, and just expand 1 plus cos theta whole square. Expansion of 1 plus cos theta whole square is 1 plus cos square theta plus 2 cos theta plus write sin square theta as it is to the power 3 by 2. Okay, and from the denominator as well, just take a square common and do the expansion of 1 plus cos theta whole square, so that the terms inside the bracket reduces to the form 1 plus cos square theta plus 2 cos theta plus a square, I have taken it outside the bracket, so it is of the form 2 into sin square theta plus cos theta into 1, that is cos theta, plus cos theta into cos theta, that is cos square theta. Okay, so just observe the terms over here. You have cos square theta plus cos square theta, that is nothing but 2 cos square theta, 2 cos square theta plus 2 sin square theta. What is 2 cos square theta plus 2 sin square theta? It is 2, isn't it? So 2 plus 1, that is 3. Okay, in the denominator you have 3 plus 2 cos theta plus cos theta, that is nothing but 3 cos theta. So I have taken 3 outside over here. So 3 into 1 plus cos theta. The denominator reduces to the form 3 into 1 plus cos theta. Now just observe the numerator. A cube by a square. A cube by a square is a. Okay. Again over here cos square theta plus sin square theta is 1. So 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 plus 2 cos theta to the power 3 by 2. Okay. Just square it, students. Since we have to prove that rho 1 square plus rho 2 square is equal to 16a square by 9. So I am just squaring rho 1 over here. So rho 1 square is equal to, okay, a square 2 to the power 3 by 2 whole square. 2 to the power 3 by 2 whole square is nothing but 2 to the power 3, right? And 2 to the power 3 is nothing but 8. Clear? Okay, divided by 3 square is nothing but 9. Okay, into 1 plus cos theta to the power 3 by 2 whole square, that is nothing but 1 plus cos theta whole cube divided by 1 plus cos theta whole square. Now just cancel the term 1 plus cos theta whole square, so that rho 1 square reduces to the form 8a square into 1 plus cos theta divided by 9. Just observe students, rho 1 is the radius of curvature at the point P, making an angle theta with respect to the initial line. Okay. So we have rho 1 square to be equal to 8a square by 9 into 1 plus cos theta, but we have to prove that rho 1 square plus rho 2 square is equal to 16a square by 9. But what is your rho 2, students? Rho 2 is nothing but the radius of curvature at the point P dash, thereby making an angle pi plus theta with respect to the initial line, isn't it? So what I am going to do over here is, I am going to replace, in order to find rho 2 square, I am just replacing theta by pi plus theta in the above expression. So that rho 2 square will be equal to 8a square into 1 plus cos pi plus theta divided by 9. What is cos of pi plus theta? Cos of pi plus theta is minus cos theta. Okay. Now just add these two expressions so that you can easily follow that rho 1 square plus rho 2 square is equal to 16a square by 9. That completes the proof. Thank you.